Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg. I hope you guys are ready to unpack and get into some good conversations today.
And I'm Jess, and this is our podcast, Baggage Claim. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Baggage Claim, a place where we like to have conversations and help create some community. And so if you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you're a regular, thanks for being back at the table with us. So wherever you're at, if you're new, grab your favorite drink, whatever that may be, kind of proverbially pull up to our table. You may be driving, who knows what you're doing, wherever you're at.
If you're driving, just pretend like.
Yeah, pretend you're sitting at the table with us, and we're just going to have a conversation. And tonight's topic's going to be probably a little heavy.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. You're like, bruh, the last 2 weeks were pretty heavy too. Jess's story.
Kind of poured my heart out.
Yeah, great story. If you've not listened to those on forgiveness, Jess's part 1 and part 2, make sure you go check those out.
Yeah.
Really good, powerful story of forgiveness. But we're going to jump into a topic. But before we do that, we're going to do something fun.
Also, can I just say, way to go every single week for doing the intro.
Thank
You do it well every time.
Oh, well, thank you.
I would not. I will mess it up or giggle or stumble over my words or forget what I was supposed to say. Thank you for doing that every time.
You're welcome.
You nailed it.
It's different every time because
It is, but it's not. Like you say
it's
what we
literally from the hip every time.
But you say it's different every time, but you always say what we agreed on or talked about that we would like to say. But you do it every time, and I really appreciate that because one time I tried it and we didn't record it, and it was bad.
I remember that night.
It got cut.
It was bad. It was just bad. And so, welcome, producer Michael is at the table with us tonight.
Michael is not behind the desk. He is over here with us.
I'm behind the
table.
mic stand.
Yes.
I have to laugh. I don't know why I didn't think of moving this before. Because I'm literally like, it's stretched all the way out over here.
My microphone stand is still attached to our literal table.
But it's literally also like 6 inches in front of me.
Yes. Yeah, it's very
I have
awkward.
no place to put my arms. I'm like,
what do I do with my arms?
You can hug
Ricky
her.
Bobby.
How's that?
Yeah, you can hug
That's
her.
perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I might actually have to do that.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have you at the table.
Thank you.
So before we get into our serious big topic tonight, we're going to do question time.
Question
time.
So we did a dude thing with a buddy of mine, Mason and Michael. We're all chatting. It went off the rails when we talked about
It went off the rails so far.
I didn't mind dude
It'll
night
probably be the
because
last time that the dudes get the podcast room by themselves.
y'all got it's 2 episodes worth.
Yes.
I didn't mind dude night because I got to go to bed early.
You did.
I got to go to bed all by myself and read, and y'all just were out here having dude time.
It was good.
It was fun.
Do you remember that whole thing after like we did question time and we were like, hey, we've got to keep question time to like 5 to 8 minutes before actually get in? No, I'm pretty sure we were about 15 minutes in before we actually got to content.
Yes, that's
boys.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was phenomenal. It was
all right,
great.
so
Boys.
question time. Who wants to go first?
First, I don't have one.
Travesty. That's a travesty.
All right, I have a good question.
Oh,
and
wait,
it's
no, I just
for
came up
you,
with one.
for you specifically. Who do you think won in fantasy football this week?
Really? That's what we're going with,
That's
bro?
what we're going with, Greg
Bro,
or me.
come on,
At this
man.
table?
At this table, Greg or me.
At this table.
Because we happened to match up this last weekend.
I already know because I also am a winner this week, but
Heyo!
I beat our son Thomas. I know
By
that
1.5 points. It was a close
win
one.
is a win.
A win is a win. Oh, I'm not taking it away.
You beat Mr. Peck over here.
Hey, can I just say, I'm at a
Do you remember what the score was, Greg?
Dude, I don't care, okay? I'm in a tough spot in my life right now, and my fantasy football is just a mere reflection of where I'm at right now, emotionally and mentally.
So,
I am
for
struggling.
any of you out there who may want to give Greg some advice on fantasy football,
Hey, shut your
reach
mouth.
into our DMs. You can reach out to us.
Bruh.
Can you just tell your story so our friends can feel?
You want me to let the secret out?
I don't know if that secret's allowed to be out.
No one knows except for Michael.
I'm comfortable with the
There's
secret being
skin in
out.
the game on this league.
I'm comfortable with the secret being out because I have a really good husband.
Okay, so we joined this fantasy.
You're
We have a
very
fantasy
kind to
football
me.
league, And
it's a relatively serious league. It's not like over the top. But
there is some prize money.
Yes.
And there is a lot of trash talk.
Also, this season is the first season girls were invited.
That's true.
There's only two of us. There was a vote.
We did a private
it was
meeting
a whole
and
thing.
voted on it. And so
it was a whole thing.
That was. And so we allowed the ladies in. And
thank you, sir.
Then what happened, Greg? We allowed the ladies in. Then what happened? Draft night.
We had draft night. And it had to be on a Wednesday at 9:45.
It was Wednesday at 1,000 o'clock.
It was at 9:30 on
That's
Wednesday.
1,000 o'clock for any of my friends who are teachers that listen. 9:30 may as well be 1,000 o'clock because at that point on a regular night, I've pretty much been asleep for an hour. I'm not rambling.
Jess was in the bed at 7 o'clock.
No,
Draft started at 9:30. She was asleep by 8. So I go in there 20 minutes before and I say, will you please log into your fantasy football on the computer? So I have the iPad on one, which is mine. I had the computer on one, which is her team. I had all the players that I wanted. I put them in the queue. Well, I got confused after round 1 and thought I was drafting my team, and I was
Jess
drafting
has a really good team.
Jess's team, and it is phenomenal.
Super good team.
Yes.
I'm doing
And my
great.
team is crap. It's almost so bad. I just need to I just got to go start.
My team is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I'm jealous.
In my own defense. So we knew ahead of
She
time.
slept through every bit of it.
In her own defense.
Yeah, I want to hear
Did you
this.
put your roster together?
No, I didn't do anything but sign in because we had to wait for you so that we could have the draft at 1,000 o'clock.
Well, it wasn't just me. There's multiple people who work late on Wednesday nights.
I feel like it was just you.
No, it wasn't just me.
But I said out loud after dinner that our son and the family, they went home, took Lulu to bed. We were cleaning up the kitchen. I'm like, I'm going to go so fast, take a shower, get ready for bed so I can be ready for the draft. I said to Greg, I'm going to go and sit in the bed. I'm going to read.
Lies. They're all lies.
It was not a lie. That
it
was
doesn't matter. You were asleep in 5 minutes.
I read, and then the next thing I remember, I was asleep on my side with the book still in my hand.
And usually this wouldn't be a sore subject with me. I don't care. If you want to go to bed at 7 o'clock, go to bed at 7 o'clock.
Night. I know.
But not when I'm trying to draft my team and I draft my team as your team. I'm a little bitter. Yeah, I'm frustrated.
As you should be. And I'm not.
Because now I have to drag this team across the finish line for the next 15 weeks and try to make something.
Because the complete opposite situation was our college football draft night where we were all in, literally all in the same room. It was dinner. It was a whole thing. And that's what we have to do next year and not work around your schedule at 1,000 o'clock. It has to be another different night.
See, the problem with
I can be
professional,
awake.
It's easier for me for professional. I can play off the athlete. When it comes to college, I have teams that I just like and teams I hate.
And teams you trust and teams you can't trust. I had no idea what I was doing.
I was going only by stats on college football.
I did not pick. I picked off my heart picked, not my mind. My heart was picking
college
players.
Football fantasy team is great.
Oh my God! Look, I am so great. Blah blah blah.
And
so
I picked
good.
those guys by myself. I asked you 2 questions that whole night.
Thank you.
Well, you won and Thomas won. I don't even know. Anyway, let's move along because this is a sore subject.
Did we have another question?
I don't want another question.
I just kind of threw us there in a fantasy.
It was horrible.
Okay, here's a weird question.
That was very now I'm just kind of sad right now.
Go for it, Jess.
Usually it's are you this or you that?
Okay.
My question is flip-flops. When you wear them, do they actually flip and flop?
Yes.
If you're on the beach in sand, yes, they do flip and flop.
Yours were flipping and flopping on the way in here.
And that's how I came up with this question.
If it's wet, they flip and flop. And they also go...
That's not a flip-flop sound, though.
No, I kind of like it if it's kind of fun, like when it's got that squishy noise.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I don't
know. Like those little cheap ones you get like for just summer trips or something.
Well, I say y'all. We have people listening in so many countries now. I'm saying y'all. But people who live...
That means everyone.
It means you all.
Yeah, you all.
But where we live, Old Navy is a store, and every summer they sell cheap flip-flops.
Yep, I buy a new pair every summer.
So do I, typically. And I had on my cheap.
I don't. I have nice flip-flops.
$1.99 flip-flops. You do have nice flip-flops.
I don't think I own a single good pair of flip-flops.
I
just don't.
This man.
I have 3 pair and they're really nice.
Well, he has very specific things that he spends money on, and clothing and shoes are 2 of those things. And weird appliances.
Speaking of,
anyway,
don't bring the microwave into this. So
okay, their microwave is like we're living in the Jetsons. I just have to say. So you press the button and it goes.
It's a drawer microwave.
It pulls out.
It's kind of fun. So I have a question. When you go into, say, you're just lounging at the house.
Okay.
Do you wear your shoes or shoes off?
House shoes.
House shoe team for
like
the win.
Slippers?
Yes, sir.
Really?
You know I wear house shoes.
Day.
I have different house shoes for summer versus winter versus fall. I don't have one. You know I have my little pile of house shoes.
Well, and mind you, also mine is like that concrete slab, so like the floor can get cold even in summer. True. So yeah.
I say you know,
but I do that anyways, even when I wasn't there.
I would assume you would have noticed that I wear house shoes.
If you get on to me, like I'll come home sometimes. I have blue jeans and my boots on.
And you will wear your world clothes. You're outside in the world clothes.
Your world clothes.
Forever.
World clothes. Yeah, I wear them around the house because it's comfortable.
I'm like, why? We've been home from church for 3 hours and you're still wearing your nice jeans, your nice shirt, and your boots.
That stuff's coming off the moment I get in the house.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I love my boots. They're comfortable. My Tecovas boots are comfortable. And
and they are worth the money. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I saw this thing that said that as soon as I get home, I go from my outside in the world clothes to Adam Sandler as fast as possible.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I'm like,
that's me.
That is me.
Mm-hmm.
That is me. We will come home and he will say, I'm going to go let the dogs out. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to go use the restroom. But by the time I come out, I'm going to go completely different.
Yeah, baggy sweatpants and the shirt hairs down. I'm like, did you take a nap while I was outside? What happened? Like,
yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love it.
Okay.
No, when you're at home, you got to chill, man.
Yeah. I'm like, this is my comfort zone.
So let's jump into our topic.
Let's do
topic.
it.
We are ranting and raving.
I feel like me personally, I'm kind of dancing around in the fun category of what we're talking about beforehand, because this was going to be harder than.
Yeah, and so this is going to be one of those topics where we may get a little passionate. We may have to call each other off the cliff a little bit and back each other up. But
take a break.
Well, I mean, and even in following, like, if you've listened, like the 2 episodes where I've told my story about forgiveness, and that's hard. But I feel like I'm kind of removed from that unless I get back in it and talk about it. But this topic is very current. We're in the middle of September right now, and there's been a lot of things that's happened in our country. And so this just kind of feels, this is heavy.
Well, last week, the whole idea of, and what sparked this whole conversation is last Wednesday, Charlie Kirk was shot. Yeah. And killed. And it was one of those kind of, I was on a job site working. Thomas was somewhere. We were all different places. And
Thomas was at the fire station.
And so I jumped in the group text and just was like, did y'all see this? Because it literally just came through my phone. I was listening to something.
And we're mentioning that you were doing this and Thomas was doing that because where we first started talking about was in our group text.
Right.
With us, our son, and our daughter-in-law is where this kind of.
And then I just got heavy.
Yeah.
And so that and there was a lot of emotion, and we actually said we want to record on this, and I'm actually glad it's almost a week removed.
I am, because I got really
just got really upset. And I think there were a lot of people who jumped on and probably said some things maybe, and I don't want tonight is not a Baggage Claim is not a place about political. We're not talking about politics.
No.
This has nothing to do with that. We're not talking about.
We're still sticking to creating conversations and community, because that's who we are.
And so the idea for us is to, and the conversation just come up like, where are we at in the world? Like is incredibly sad. But, and I never met him, so I didn't know him personally. I had watched a lot of his stuff, even when he went on Gavin Newsom's podcast, which I was intrigued by that. All the other podcasts he went on. I was just a fan of his because I thought he was a very interesting guy. Like, he was very like talk to anyone about anything. And so that was intriguing
and you
to
could
me.
Believe in how he stuck to his convictions very respectfully, in my
whether
opinion.
you
don't have
agree
to agree with that or not. But
would agree with him or not, that's not even what we're talking about tonight.
No.
It's not like, hey, if you believe with him, then jump on our bandwagon or this bandwagon.
This is not a pro Charlie Kirk conversation, but this is where this spurred out of.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think many times, like even in relationships and friendships, we are never going to agree.
Mm-mm.
And if we do agree on everything, if we agree on everything, then what fun is that? Well,
Jess and I are married, and we've been married for 13 years, and there's some things we don't, next month, we don't agree on. Like, there's some things we would probably be like, we just see things different. Like, we just see, and that's okay. And so I think for that's the idea I want us to dig into, is the idea of hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want us to dig into the idea of hate. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we hating? Why are we acting the way we're acting? Why are we at a place where we can't have conversations?
Yeah.
And let's maybe, okay, so for me, I told Jess, I was like, every conversation, and this is one of those facilitating things I go through, every conversation for me is a what, so what, now what?
Slow down. Say that again.
So it's a what, so what, now what? So it's the whole idea of what just happened.
Mm-hmm. So what do we do with it?
Yeah. So what does that mean for me? What is that? What are we? And so what are the feelings attached to that? And then it's the now what?
Now
what am I going to do with that? Now what does that mean for me? And so it's a process of just breaking down.
I'm sorry I'm teaching you, but you just breezed through that as if
you did say that real fast.
Yeah,
and smart. Like you sounded really smart.
That's the thing.
I've been practicing for years.
Literally, you have, and that's what I was going to say. Like you breezed through that, which is why I wanted to make you slow down a little bit, because you are trained to help people think through that. You're trained in facilitating. And so like regular everyday people, we don't think like that. And so that's a very big skill, I think, that is important in this whole conversation that we're having tonight. It was like, okay, so where are we at? What's happening? And so we can dissect that, and it takes time. And then, so what are we going to do now? Then that takes a little bit of time. And then now what do we do to move forward? So I don't want you to breeze through that. Like your thought process
and honestly,
is important.
Because I've not heard, even in the time we've been together, I've not heard you say it like that, lay that out. Because I think one of the things we were talking about earlier is it's so easy that, especially when there's something you're passionate about, that you get emotional about it.
Right. Yeah.
Those 3 questions right there help you check your emotions.
They do.
Right. Well, it's to help you process your emotions.
Yes, I mean, very much so.
Yeah, emotions are not, like, in something like this, it's a highly emotional thing.
Yeah.
And I don't get caught on the Charlie aspect. Like, I like the guy because he spoke, like, he was just clear in what he said. He's just very clear. But there's a part of me that just gets caught on he was a dad and he was a husband. And he was just a guy chasing his dream. He was just chasing his dreams. That's what he was doing. I don't, and that's hard for me. Like when I look at it from that way, that's what kind of just unsettled me. And so I had to process those emotions in a way of going, okay, how do we do this in a healthy way that's constructive and good?
Now, aside from what happened to him, that's how you look at pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And you've helped me look at things like that. It's just kind of like, don't get so caught up in your emotion. Like, let's understand how we feel. How did we get there? And then now what do we do?
Yeah.
And that's important, regardless of the tragedy. If we can put that aside in a different category for now. But it's the understanding where your thought process comes from.
I'm always, and that's the thing for me in this, I'm like, it baffles me. It really does. It shocks me when people are not willing to just sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, because
absolutely.
I am such a conversation people guy. Like I actually thrive on chatting with people who don't act like me, think like me, who live in the same world as me. Like I want to know because I'm just curious of how did you get to where you're at? How did you
Yeah.
arrive at this place where you're at? Like
Well, I
there's
mean,
a
that
lot of
goes
things
back
that
for
came
your
that.
own self when, when you were in college, your major was sociology. Like you wanted to study people from a very young age. And sadly, there's a lot of people that, we all go into different walks of life, but I think that a big thing is that people forget to like study each other. Like it's okay to figure out each other as you go through life. Because if you can't do that, then what are we doing? Like, regardless of what profession you take or what walk of life you're in, like, if you can appreciate and understand and try to walk alongside other people, then what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one of the a great relationship I used to have was Dr. Ottinger was in college and he was an atheist. And he used to go and just sit down and I would just have conversations with I was a Christian. I'd just become a Christian and I was a believer and we would just have conversations. I
Mm-hmm.
was just so curious
Mm-hmm.
how he didn't believe in anything. He's like, I'm atheist, I don't believe in anything. I was like, how did this happen?
How?
Like, please tell me how you got there. And I was really just curious, not in a like, you're an idiot, you're
Not
wrong.
an accusatory way.
No, I
of
was
just a
so curious.
curiosity.
A learning way.
Yeah.
Right. Just be like, I want to know how you got there. Like, because please help me. And so we would talk. I mean, we had great conversations around that. And it just seems, it's so sad that I feel like we've gotten to a place where we don't do that anymore. Like
Yeah,
that's frowned
we don't.
upon.
I would
almost.
agree.
And I don't understand why.
Well, and it's almost as if it's like you say, okay, well, you believe that, so you stay over there. I believe this, so I'll stay over here.
Right.
And then we just don't interact.
Right.
And I'm not trying to get into media and all that stuff, but then things happen and then people get more entrenched in their own ideals and their own values, and it only separates that gap more. And when you look at all relationships, I mean, I know we talk a lot about marriage relationships and that here. So when you look in terms of that, it can be so easy to let that be something that separates you, especially if it's something that you're passionate about or it's something that brings up emotion.
It could be
for you.
Well, I will say, I mean, Greg and I are not perfect, and we have said this all along. This is our episode number 32.
That's right.
That's wild.
That is
32
crazy.
episodes. We've tried to make it very clear that we know that we are not perfect. But I know that the time that you and I have been together, we have had relationships with people that we truly, truly, truly care about that do not have the same belief system that we have. And they have a very different way of doing family and relationships, whatever the case may be. But we love them as a human being. And
as a person.
And so those folks in our life, they know that, so that when we are able to, and we have sat down with them and just be like, help me understand how you got here. Let me use a Greg Peck phrase. Help me understand how we got here. I want to know your thought process that led you to where you are right now. And that doesn't mean I'm going to love you less. And that doesn't mean I'm going to start judging you all of a sudden.
Actually, it means I'll probably love you more.
I will agree with that, because those same folks are still very important in our hearts.
Yeah.
And so I think that personal experience on my side, because there's been such a vast amount of experience for me and you both, it's just kind of like, why can everybody not be like that?
Be like what?
Accepting. And that kind of leads us to what and I hate to use this word, I just said it, but what we were wanting to talk about tonight, and we are so far into this episode before we even talk about like the subject matter, but we kind of like the word hate. It just feels it's a heavy word, but also given what's happening in our country right now and actions that people are taking against each other, whether they are on one extreme or another. Hate is such a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Would y'all agree?
Yeah. Yes. I agree. And my family can attest to this. I love information. I love learning. I love just hearing. And so I would turn on every morning when the kids were small, I'd turn on the news and I couldn't stand some of the guys on CNN. So I turned on Fox.
Yeah.
But
all four of our children would say that's the soundtrack to their childhood.
They
would agree.
And so I was listening to Fox News for a long time. And then I found myself being like, okay, you're saying the same crap. And I would just get so aggravated. And I would start my day and I was all riled up and angry and mad. And I told Jess, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop watching the news in the morning. Like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
That was a big shift in our house.
And she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm not watching the news.
Yeah.
It changed.
It changed your thought.
Yeah, just the way I felt, the way I thought, the way I saw the world, the way I saw people. Because when I'm looking at media or news outlets, they're telling me the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's on fire. Grab a water hose. And I'm like, I look out my window and I'm like, it looks okay to me.
We're okay.
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And so it's like, because those things sell, sizzle sells. And so there's a part of me is like, I just don't want that. And so I cut that out. But it's like, look at your For You page. On your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok
that has a For You
yeah,
page.
but they all kind of have a For You page. They don't call it that.
That's true.
But
they just
the algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm knows what you want and what you want to see. And it's feeding you the same kind of stuff over and over and over and over again.
But do you feel like it's feeding you negative or positive?
Okay. I watched I got into this weird cop thing one time and I watched this like cops like bad cop thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all of a sudden, my For You page is full of it. And I was like, I don't want to see that crap.
I know. It's like so one video catches your attention and then it's like, flooded.
Can I reset? Do I have a reset button?
One time I was interested in that. That doesn't mean that's all I'm interested in.
Yeah. And so it's I think if we look at so many times we look at our lives and be like, what are we putting into it? Like, what are we actually digesting and thinking about
what are you
and listening to?
Yeah.
Like, I love him to death, Cody, our son. He's an incredibly smart kid, smarter than he even knows.
He's number 3 in the lineup.
Yes. Went to UGA, got into Terry School of Business, graduated, did great, made great grades. When we started talking about politics on the beach, we're having drinks and we're talking about politics and we were totally opposites. And I was like, okay, so tell me how you got there. And he goes, well, so-and-so is a racist and they're this. And I was like, really? Tell me one time tell me something about that. And he was like, okay, well, wait a minute. And so we started talking and it was interesting. It was like, do you think some of your views you have to do with where you've been in school? And he's like, yeah, it's fair to say.
Oh, he was 100%. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, of course it has to. And I was like, yeah, I would agree with that. I was like, because my environment has everything to do with the way I think and the way I feel.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not absent. I'm not absent of that just because I'm not in college. But the same thing is so much we put into our lives and we listen to and we digest and we take it in, but it affects what comes out, how we think about people, how we look at people. And there's not many people out there going, why don't you look at the person across from you and go, that's a person that
has experiences.
That probably has a mom or had a dad at some point and had someone who loves them.
And thoughts and things that they actually went through to get them to where they are.
Yeah, things they're passionate about. They're chasing a dream. They're chasing something. They're looking for purpose. They're looking for those things. It's like they're looking for reason for why they're here. It's like, why not look at people that way instead of, well, if you don't agree with the same political views I have or the same things I have.
Well, it's turned into if you don't agree with me, then you're against me.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be that way.
No, it
shouldn't be that way at all.
No, because what kind of world would that be, Michael, when you have a world
everybody would
people?
Be against everybody.
Yeah, or a world that looks
honestly,
just
I promise,
like
if you put two of me identical side by side, we'd disagree on something.
You would.
Like we would. Like and like realistically, and I think most people, if they're honest with themselves, would probably get to that point at some time. But just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you can't love them, doesn't mean you can't care for them. But that mindset of, if you disagree with me, that means you're against me, that starts eating away at that, hey, I still love you. And then it goes away to, oh, wow, I really don't love you. Can you just stay over there? And then it turns into, oh, man, I really don't like you. And then it turns into, oh, man, I actually hate you.
Yeah.
And it's like this step after step after step that we could be fighting against as a community, as whether it be a family or anything like that. It could just simply be, hey, I can disagree with you, but I can still love you.
And as much as I am trying to dance around the word hate, but that's where it goes to.
It is. That's where it ends
the
up
process where it ends up at as hate.
If you don't watch it and keep yourself in check, keep your emotions in check, it does go to hate.
Why, though? Why do you think it's so hard to get along with people that are not like you, like your own self? Why do you think that's hard? Because it is, apparently.
Can I go biblical?
You can.
Yes.
Why did Cain kill Abel?
Because he was jealous. He wanted
He was
what he
jealous.
It's a nature. That's who we are.
But see, that's a self thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's ourself. That's flesh.
Like there's me. Like I don't like. It's not uncomfortable for me to hang out with people who are different. Like I want to do this thing, and I told Jess about it. Like I want to have this dinner, and maybe at our house or somewhere else. But I'm broke as a convict right now, so I can't do it. But I want to. But I want to invite 12 guys that are from different walks of life.
If you're listening and you want to be a part of this, perk your ears up.
Yes, this is really cool.
I know what he's about to share, and you will be. But
I want to invite 12 guys around the table. And we're going to have, and there'll be questions at their table, at their seat. And you get to talk about, the whole idea is, you're around you want to look for the best in the people that are sitting around the table with you. But you are going to talk about who you are without telling people what you do as a guy. Like you just get to talk about.
That's hard for men.
It's very hard for men. But in the same idea, I want hey, I don't want 12 people who look, act, and sound like me and believe the same way. I was like, I want vast difference. Like, I want people to be able to sit at the table, because when I think about it, and this is the biblical sense for me, I have a tattoo of a table on my arm, because this is like, when you think about, if you read the Bible and you think about Jesus, how many times did he meet with people was around a table? People who didn't look like him, act like him, sounded like him, with prostitutes, with tax collectors, with the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs.
Heck, even his disciples were the lowest of the low.
But he sat at the table with them and he shared a meal.
And shared his life.
Yeah. And I was like, that man, if I'm like, dude, if we can do that, if we can just start there and just be like, we're all men. Let's respect each other just for, you're at the table. I got respect for you for being at this table and having a conversation. I don't care if you think the way I do, believe the way I do. I just want to say I respect you for being here.
I feel like that's just a very human, it should be. I feel like it should be a very human point of view, because we are not all alike.
No.
And so that's just a very basic of just humanity. And then us as Christians, you and I and Michael, again, you add the Jesus layer, because that is literally, like you said, Jesus ate with and he hung out with and served and listened to people who were not like him at all.
No. No.
And I agree with you. I don't want to be surrounded by people who are just like me. Does it help? Yes, of course it does.
Well, it's easy. It's comfortable.
Yeah,
it's comfortable.
But also, if you're only around people who are exactly like you, that doesn't challenge you at all. It doesn't challenge you to be like, okay, why do I believe what I believe?
I think you ought to be able to answer that question. I don't care where you're at.
I do too.
On the spectrum. I don't care what you believe.
Christian, non-Christian, whatever.
Buddhist, Hindu, Christian. Know what you believe and why you believe it. Like,
because different doesn't equal bad all the time.
No.
It really doesn't.
No, it does not.
No, it doesn't. So how do you, if I may pose a question, when it comes up to whether it be disagreement in marriage or politics or anything.
Okay,
And
that's a really big marriage.
I'm saying just disagreements in general, whatever it may be. When you do have that emotional side of, it's just hard to communicate. It's hard to not get angry, even in debate or conversation. What do you do that helps you sit down to actually have that conversation? Because we're sitting here talking about, hey, we can't stop having conversation. We can't stop getting to know people who are different. What do you do when that's hard?
Well, I have learned a lot about that through Greg. So that's kind of my cheat sheet. But it's not necessarily about agreeing. It's more of an understanding. Now I say now. We've been together for 13 years.
Yeah,
but
you can stop saying that now.
Okay. I have learned that the more important thing is not, I need you to agree with me. The more important thing should be, in my opinion, I want to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the understanding part, I want you to understand me too. But that doesn't equal we're going to agree.
Yeah.
I want to know where you're coming from. And for you to be able to explain that, you are going to have a solid foundation of where that came from.
I think everything has a source. Everything has a root.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. Like, it's like anything else. Like a massive tree, is big oak. It has roots, and those roots go deep.
Yeah.
And they're the bigger the tree, the deeper the roots are.
Yeah.
And so it's in the same sense of, the stronger the passion, the bigger the belief. There's a root somewhere, and that started with something.
Look for the root.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, where's the source of that? Like,
that's
where's
good.
the source of that anger, that frustration, that wherever that may be? Like for me, when I'm having a conversation with someone, there's a curiosity about it to make me want to say, where does that come from? Like, help me. When I say help me understand, I'm basically saying, I'm going to ask questions to realize, how did you arrive at the point where you arrived? And we're going to go backwards and try to find out where that started at, because I'm really curious where that is.
So I will say that phrase, you'll hear us say that a lot, of the help me understand. And you may think, oh my God, if you say that one more time, but that's really true.
If you start using that in your life, it will change the way you look at conversations.
What relationship it is.
And I bet if you use that more in your life, you'll find yourself growing more and more too.
Right.
So you said recognize the source. So a friend of mine from work posted this actually today that I thought was fascinating. It says, if you put 100 black ants and 100 red ants in a jar, nothing will happen. But if you shake the jar, the ants will start killing each other. Red will believe black is their enemy, while black will believe red is their enemy, when the real enemy is the person who shook the jar. Same is also true in our society. Before we fight with each other, we have to ask ourselves, who shook the jar?
Yeah.
It's like, where did the actual root of the disagreement come from?
Yeah.
Or not even disagreement, of just the miscommunication. It's like,
because I believe that's what it is. It's just
I do too.
The anger and the fright. Because if you dig down deep into that and you really, really want to know, it's like, hey, tell me where that anger and that frustration comes from somewhere. Because, dude, we're all different. We all grew up differently. We all had different parents.
The three of us sitting here at this table.
Yes, completely different.
All three of us vastly different.
Yes, vastly different. And so it's like, I don't see, it's just interesting. Like in my life, I grew up where there was a lot of violence was a normal thing. Like it really was. And then I got into kickboxing and karate, and I did that for a little while, which I thought it was, and then I just became really good at fighting. And then, but I realized this isn't helping me. I don't need to do this. And so I finally kind of bowed out of that, which it just, like violence was never a way for me to, it just seemed like a very, very shallow way of expressing any kind of emotion.
But then for Michael, you grew up completely different than that.
Yeah. quite different. Homeschooled,
Right,
like
right.
worked, family business, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
And
very
then
different.
my own self, I grew up completely different than that. But both my parents didn't divorce till I was grown. And like, but then there was like some alcohol, and then there was a change in that. And it was just like so many moving parts of just dysfunction and miscommunication, but there was never violence involved. And so, like, if we all look at all the things, although the three of us are really good friends, and obviously you and I are married, we're pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And so
I think so.
But like, we are all very, very different in how we have arrived at who we are and the opinions that we have.
Yeah. Like, I love having conversations with Michael sometimes about his life and growing up and how he thinks the way he thinks and the way, and it really does, because I mean, there was a lot of violence in my life. It was my dad's side of the family. My mom's side was they're just they're just great people. Loving, sweet. My mom, if it weren't for my mom, God knows where I would be in life. But it's like,
You would be in jail.
probably, yeah, like permanently.
Yeah.
And so there's a curiosity for me to be like, Michael, why do you think that way? Because you grew up in church, like you've been around church your entire life. Both of you have.
Yeah, we have.
My dad was a pastor. I don't know if you know, like when I was younger, my dad was a pastor.
I do know that.
So yeah.
See, I did. I mean, I grew up going to the package store on Sundays because I would get popcorn when we would go to the drive-through when we go to the bootlegger, because you could buy beer on Sunday when I was a kid. Yeah,
I grew up to go to church,
and I was excited to go get popcorn from the bootlegger. So like that's the life we grew up in. You know, it's like, okay, cool.
Would you guys agree that, like, as we're trying to move forward in the country that we live in today, because I do feel like there's kind of a strong resurgence of a lot of things. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree.
So I feel like kind of the first thing that we should do, maybe like check yourself. Like, let's think about, like, know why you believe what you believe. And it's okay to look outside your own bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and for me, like and we're talking about disagreements, trying to find, yeah, we're vastly different, but we still have so much in common. I don't know why, call it whatever you want, but it's almost as if everything in society, Instagram, TikTok, everything, we're always finding and looking at our differences.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like there are some things about our differences that we should be proud of.
Yeah.
Like own your heritage, own so much of that. But also at the same time, I think we lose sight of what we have in common.
Yeah.
We lose sight of the fact that realistically we may have opposing views, but if we dig down at the root, we find the source, we actually care about the same things.
Yeah.
We want to see the same end results.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we can, and that's where I look at when I like think of check myself, it's okay, first off, check myself, because why in the world does everyone feel like their opinion is the right opinion? Right? Like, and I say this to myself, like I have to check myself, because so many times I feel like, well, that's my opinion and that's what's right, because that's why I think that's what's right.
Well, there's a difference between my opinion and my emotions. So I feel like you have to be able to, like, kind of deconstruct your emotions to figure out, like,
yes,
where am I at? Like, let's learn to separate fact from fiction. Kind of. I mean, honestly, I hate to say it that way, but fact from emotion, because a lot of emotion is based on fiction and narrative that you build in your own head, versus like, no, really, are we, like, at the basis of where we're at? Do we agree on the very root of where we're at?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like you said, yes, we do. We truly do.
Well, and the thing is, when you dig down and you understand why I believe what I believe, it gives you a foundation. But what's important in that is, yes, you should constantly be asking, learning more and more about other things. But if you don't have a foundation of why you believe in what you believe, for me, God, truth, the Bible, it's rooted in one thing, and that's Jesus Christ. But if I'm not rooted, I could be easily tossed around and thrown around. My beliefs change every other week, that kind of thing. But when you know what you're rooted in, you can in confidence hear what other people disagree and not be so worked up. over it.
Yeah.
Because
I think what breaks my heart, and it really does break my heart, and then there's this whole, like, if you've been on social media, you've seen this crap of people who are celebrating and are excited about the assassination of a man, a husband and a father.
Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that's just like, okay, just because you don't agree, how do you celebrate the death of a guy who just shared, who wasn't about violence,
No.
who wasn't about anger, frustration, hatred? Listen to his podcast, listen to his
Don't
stuff.
listen to your peers. Listen to him.
Just go listen to it. And just the idea of a guy who's just, even if you don't agree with what he says, he's just sharing his thoughts and his opinions. No one, why is it that we have people who feel like, oh, well, he deserved it? Let me tell you, I live in a household with 2 kids who lost their dad, and it's 15 years later. That, I don't care who you are, that makes a mark on kids. It'll make a mark on his kids' lives, and his kids' lives will grow up with that pain, and they'll carry that with them, and they'll deal with that. His wife will deal with that. She'll have to move on. And for you to sit and say, I don't care about that. I don't care about her.
It's
I don't.
just
You
mean.
you need to dig deep in your heart and go, why do I feel that way?
It's just plain old mean.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like that
No.
doesn't. I don't understand that level. And I would love to talk with someone who has, even, and I mean, I will say it, like even a show that the Burt Show here in Atlanta. I know they don't ever listen to this, but at the same time, it's a show that I've been listening to literally since my kids were babies. I would listen to this all the way on the ride home.
I've been listening to that show since I was in high school.
Yeah, forever. Well, they get on there and they're just having a conversation, but then they go into this bashing session and basically just saying,
I will say,
I'm not sad that he.
Bert, the host and owner of the show, he started off well, and he was just talking about how his heart felt heavy for where things are in our country, and there's such a divide. And he started off well, and then he said, I don't know if you know who Charlie Kirk is or was, and he kind of briefly explained that he had passed away the day before, and he's like, he's a political activist, he's a Christian, and he promoted like debates and non-violent activism and all those things. He started off strong. Then the other women on the show kind of took over the conversation, and they went very, very negative. And they were calling, now this is an opinion, and I appreciate that's their opinion.
Right.
What I don't appreciate is that they did not take into account that the audience that was listening may not share their opinion. They name called, they categorized him in a very negative way, a lot of negative things. And then the last person that spoke up, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to give her any satisfaction. She said that she was not sad, that she was satisfied that he lost his life because of his beliefs. Now, she didn't take into account of that he was a 31-year-old man that was killed for standing up for what he believed in, for positive matters. Didn't take into account that his wife is now a widow. She did not take into account that his 2 children will grow up without their biological father and his influence in their life. And she said, I am not sad he's dead. And that is wrong. I don't care who you are. That is wrong.
Yeah.
And I know that I am coming from a very personal, passionate place.
Okay, it did hit you in a very personal, because.
And I messaged that
when DJ passed away, he was 31.
Same age.
31 years old. And so that now, hit home with you.
Was he murdered? No. Was he a political activist? No. But was he a Christian father and a Christian husband who stood for the right things and a biblical opinion, yes. Would he have aligned with what Charlie Kirk was doing? Yes. So for that person on that morning show out loud, now I know they're based in Atlanta, but they are nationwide, worldwide, because they have an app, to say, I'm not sad because he was murdered.
Here's what I'm saying with that. Not condemning it. It's America. You have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say. Like, you literally can say whatever you want to say. That okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I would love to just say why. I would just like to ask why. Why are you satisfied that a woman and 2 kids are going to struggle with the rest of their life with this situation? Why does that make you happy? Because you didn't agree about abortion the same way? You didn't agree about transgender the same way? You didn't believe about Christianity the same way? I was like, so that like,
makes it okay.
Why? I just want to know why. Like, for me, is the curiosity of go, why are you so angry? Why are you so, because there's a lot of people in politics I don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I don't wish harm on anyone.
Absolutely not.
I'm excited to when you see I'm not a Gavin Newsom fan. I'm not. But when he goes on Joe Rogan or when Charlie Kirk goes on his podcast and they have a conversation, like, okay, I'm going to listen and I'll listen to the guy and he's actually a really intriguing guy. I don't believe all the things he believes in, but he's an intriguing guy. It's just like, for me, it's like, let's go back to let's erase all those emotions. Let's erase all the craziness, because the fact we celebrate.
It's okay to not agree with your neighbor. Yeah. Neighbor meaning anybody that's in your life. Mm-hmm. It is not okay to wish harm upon someone who doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, how about we just be nice?
Freaking live in harmony with one another.
Yeah, because
it is not that hard.
Because you know what you can do is, if you don't agree, like the Burt Show now, they were, I mean, as crazy as it was, they were P1 in my car because they've been in my truck forever.
And I know you're like, who cares if you don't listen?
And who cares?
I hope that us unfollowing and not listening makes an impact, because that was ugly. It was just ugly.
But at the same time, if I don't want to listen to it, I just don't.
I'm not going to listen to it.
I just delete it.
Do I wish harm upon any of them? Absolutely not.
Lord, no. Great.
Am I going to share my opinion? Yes.
Yeah.
Because would I like for them to reach out? Yes. Will I have a conversation? Yes. Because I want you to understand my point of view, and a person that doesn't agree with that point of view, just as much as I would like to hear how you got there, not what you said on the radio, but I want to understand, because there's a lot of people, like we said early on, there's a lot of people in our lives that we are friends with and have been friends with over the years that do not choose the same lifestyle that we choose. Mm-hmm. Does that mean we love them any less? Absolutely not. If they called us tomorrow and said, I need you to do this, that, and the other, would we do that? Yes, we would. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you choose in the privacy of your home. I truly do not. I care about you as a person because you are my friend. And my friend means anybody that's listening.
Okay. So we're way in.
We are very way in.
It is so many minutes. This is the longest episode probably ever.
Yeah.
So
sorry, everyone. But can we unpack? Is there an unpack? There's
a big unpack.
There's a big unpack. And we say it's a big unpack. It's a short unpack, but it's big for you. I feel like you or all of us. For unpack, take a look at the people in your life. Like, literally take a minute. Think about the people in your life. Are they all just like you?
Yeah. Do they think the same way? Do they look the same way? I lost my mic right there.
It was a situation.
Are they, have you created this cocoon?
This little bubble of safety.
Whether you're liberal or conservative or whatever you may be, not even in politics, just like in life. Like, you have people who just think the same way, act the same way. You're going to have those friends that are close to you.
Yeah.
But look past that. Like, are you
maybe your
okay?
secondary bubble.
Yeah.
Like your inside bubble is likely going to be made up of people who are like you. Look at your outside bubble. If the people even that outside, are they all just like you? Well, here's a second question. Are you uncomfortable being around people that are not like you? I feel like that's a big question because I don't feel uncomfortable when I'm with people that are not like me because I'm secure in who I'm rooted in with Christ. I'm secure in myself. I'm secure in my beliefs, but also I am secure in knowing that I can love other people who are not like me. I can, and I do.
Yeah.
That's a huge practice I feel like to put into place.
How about you, Michael? What you got?
A lot of this hits close to me, just specifically after this last week. I will say, just in honesty, like I've wrestled a lot with emotions of just everything, especially with Charlie Kirk this last week. And I'm going to try to keep this short because I got a lot of thoughts in my mind. But the first thing that comes to mind is humble yourself.
Oh,
Check yourself.
That's hard for a lot of people.
And it is.
Honestly.
It's something you have to practice. It's something that you have to exercise, because if you don't, when the time comes that you need to,
yeah,
it will be near impossible to do.
That's true.
But here's the reason. It's not just simply to say, oh, just think less of yourself, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we'd all be in a better place if we didn't overestimate ourselves. But here's the reason why. And it's not to say don't be passionate. It's not to say don't be zealous. Don't have a longing or a yearning or a fire about what you believe in, but simply have enough mental and emotional awareness within you.
Maturity.
Yes, maturity, to sit back and check yourself. And ask, am I thinking this because this is just what I believe in? Am I thinking this because, this is the truth that I stand on? And if this is the truth that I have to stand on, then this is how I must act. Know why you're doing what you're doing. And I know we've said that before, but so many times, because it leads to this, so many times, especially when we get into conversations with people we don't agree with, we always want to prove a point. We always want to have our point heard and, have that last sentence and mic drop, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the reality is that comes from our ego, that comes from our pride, that comes from us wanting to be better than.
Yeah.
And I had a dear friend and mentor tell me one time, always strive to make a difference. Don't strive to prove a point. Because if you strive to prove a point, you will, and chances are you proving that point will separate you and the person you're talking to.
And that will make the difference.
But if you strive to make a difference,
right,
and you get connected with them.
Sorry, I was jumping ahead.
You're fine. If you strive to make a difference, your point will eventually be proven. And I think so many times we jump too eagerly and too passionately, and sometimes with a good passion, but we jump at the wrong place, and we do it in the wrong time, and we try to prove a point, and we don't strive to make a difference.
Right.
Because the only thing, well, and that's stupid to say, but the only thing that's going to make a difference is trying to actually pursuing making a difference. And when we do that, I think for me, like when I hear everything we've talked about, how do you get to sit down and dig into the root of what someone else believes, even though it's vastly different from you? We strive to make a difference. We don't strive to prove our point.
Right.
And so I would encourage you, wherever you stand with everything that's going on right now, or whether it be something completely unrelated, like check yourself. And I don't say that to beat yourself down. Don't beat yourself down. You have worth, you have value in who you are and what you believe in. But also at the same time, we need to be wise in choosing what we believe in. Because when we do that, it lets us know what ground we must stand on. And it also lets us know what ground doesn't make a difference if we lose it or not.
Right.
And when we understand that difference, what battles are worth fighting, what arguments are not worth fighting, then we can more accurately and intentionally strive to make a difference in people's lives.
Wow. Okay. Well said. I don't want to follow that, but I will. Because I don't have a choice. So, I think my unpack is very, very simple. I think it's a very easy one. Have a conversation. Just sit down and have a conversation.
With no matter who it is. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is, what it's about. Just have just start talking. Just start talking to people. And you're not talking to convince or persuade anyone. You're talking because you're curious.
Yeah.
To understand.
Dig into the curiosity of wanting to know why people think and act the way they do. If you start with that, you'll be it'll be really interesting where you wound up. That's all. It's a simple thing. Like, you see someone sitting by themselves in the coffee shop. I mean, they may be working. Who knows? Sometimes people just don't want to be. They don't want to talk anymore. They got their headphones in or not. But it's just like start a conversation. Who knows where that leads? Who knows what happens with that? And but not in a way of I want them to believe the way I do or think the way I think, but just be like, I just want to know who you are. And so
I want to understand where you're at.
That's mine. This is a big topic. We've been going at it for a little bit.
Super long episode.
This is the longest one.
Yeah, this is the longest one we've ever done.
Episode.
So please, if you've stuck with us this long,
if you've been here this long and you've listened to the whole thing, thank you. Also, can you drop a comment and just be like, "Hey, way to go!"
You can text
some
us
random emoji, whatever it is.
You can text us from either Apple, Spotify, any of those. There's a text option in there. If
somebody texts us directly, I would.
Well, it comes up when you text it. It comes to our show, and we'll see it.
Yep.
So feel free to do that. Drop us a DM.
Yeah.
Follow, subscribe. We're still growing. We're in 11 countries now, 161 cities. It's kind of crazy. It's going out there. Just thank you for sharing. If you think anybody could.
And just thank you for listening to us talk about whatever.
Yeah. If you think somebody could benefit from this, please share it. Please put it out there.
Thank you. And we love you.
Yeah, we're working on trying to make it better every day.
We are.
We just all have jobs, and it's really slow. So
it's a situation.
Yeah, this is not our full-time gig.
Yeah,
no,
it's not. No, it's not. And with that, thank you for joining Baggage Claim.
Yeah,
and we hope you join us again, where we can share and love one another.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Go dogs.
Go dogs. That's right.
Oh.